Yeah. Come on. Jenny from the blog. Yes. Guys, BENNIFER is back. BENNIFER is back. 2021 Reload. BENNIFER is back. So guys, what we're going to do in this reading, we're just going to dip in just a little bit into their current energies, look at their current situations, just seeing what's going on with them. All right. And two cards have immediately jumped out for me, which is, oh, and as we're dipping into current energies, we'll just ask questions as we go. So we're just going to keep it very flowing, just going to keep it very free, very easy, right? So the two cards that have jumped out for me, 5 of Cups and 10 of Wands. This is Jenny's energy, this is JLo's energy, and this is saying to me someone who's been disappointed with the 5 of Cups, someone who's been disappointed, someone who has been hurt. And what I'm seeing here, especially with this being tipped over as well, when I look at this girl, notice her foot is in the cup as well. This tells me someone who is over the situation, and this, I'm going back to her and Alex Rodriguez, mind you. This is someone who come down to the end of that situation, was just over with it. They were just done with it. You know, when you're just waiting on one more thing to happen to give you an excuse to move on. That is what I think JLo's energy was just at the end of this situation. Look at her putting her foot in and just tipping the cup over. You know, she was just waiting on that one more thing, and she was out. 10 of Wands also came out for Jennifer. This is, I'm going to put this over here because that is the energy that she's coming out of that situation. She has packed her bag. She is off. There is no going back to Alex. What I pick up with this energy as well, though, is I wouldn't be surprised if Alex expected this to be resolved, because I just think it's really interesting with someone's bags packed, everything packed, and they're just moving on. I'm picking up, I wouldn't be surprised if Alex expected this situation to reconcile, but I'm not seeing any reconciliation here. I'm just seeing someone who is just completely over it, and they're just ready to move on. And that is Jenny and her relationship with Alex, right? Yep, and look at this, 8 of Pentacles, 8 of Wands. She is in terms of the current energy around Jennifer, because that's what I feel that I'm picking up now. She is just all about her work. Work. So expect a lot of stuff from Jennifer coming. I don't know what she has coming up. I don't know what she has lined up for her. But it almost feels to me, especially with this 8 of Pentacles and just 8 of Wands, it's as if she's getting back to the old Jennifer. She's getting back to her old self, is what is coming through really strongly. I'm feeling with this 5 of Cups and this 10 of Wands, even though she put on a happy face with Alex, it seems as though I'm being intuitively told that there was a pressure, after a while, there was a pressure to just make things work, especially with the blended families and everything. There was a pressure to make things work, but I'm picking up really strongly that she's just in the flow of her old self, like her old spark is back. And what this is being told is that for Jennifer, for quite a while, for about 8 months, from the 8 and 8 confirmation, from the 8 months, it was as if she wasn't herself. Another interesting thing with this 8, so with Wands, this could be either 8 weeks or 8 months ago, whatever it is. I think this is weeks, I'm being told more specifically, that Wands are all about messages, action, etc. So someone took action 8 weeks ago towards Jennifer, or she received a message, or she received some message about 8 weeks ago. Let's see what this means and what this is about. Page of Swords, yep. So Page of Swords is an impression, it's an idea, it's hearsay, it's murmurings. That's a Page of Swords. So it's a message that she got about 8 weeks ago. I'm thinking it's now this 8 of Wands and this message that she got 8 weeks. This could be very well linked to that 5 and 10. of, it could be very well linked to Alex. Yeah, thank you. There we go. It was linked to Alex. So about 8 weeks ago, or it could be 8 weeks or 8 months ago, as we're saying, when it comes to timelines could be a bit hazy. But there was a message that she got. Something that she read, which led her to feel that with the Six of Swords, she was ready to move on. That convinced her to move on, actually. That convinced Jennifer to move on past this situation. What I would suggest, guys, is if you look at my past reading, I'll link it above and I'll link it below. I did a reading on Alex and Jennifer, and I think this current energy is referring to that. The fact that it's come up in this reading here, which is a new reading, is I'm picking up that she is healing from this situation. So with the Five of Cups and the Ten of Wands, I think she's healing from the disappointment with Alex. But looking at this here, she's in her old energy. She's her old self, throwing herself into work and creative projects and so on. And doing this action, to me, is just her getting back to her old self again. Okay. Let's see what else we can pick up. Interestingly enough, I haven't really seen Ben's energy come into this. Ten of Cups, there we go. I was saying I hadn't seen Ben's energy, and Ten of Cups has come forward. What she is looking to do in terms of moving on, this, Jennifer, is all about love, because Ten of Cups, look, you know, when you're sitting with your life partner and looking at your kids, you know, it's just is what she's about. She's about love. She's about family. So with the Six of Swords, it's sort of moving into that direction. That is what she's looking for. Okay, so let's see. We want to know, so that's Jennifer's current situation. That's her current vibe. That's what she's looking for. So let's see. Okay, so we have the King of Swords. What about Ben? What about Ben? Could we get a Ben up in What about her and Ben? What's all that about? We have the Knight of Swords that's come through. What's going on between her and Ben? Too many cards. What's going on between her and Ben Affleck? What's going on between her and Ben? Oh, yeah. Thank you, Spirit Guide. Six of Cups. So Six of Cups talks about going back into the past. Okay, thank you very much. So what we have is a Knight of Swords and a Six of Cups. So this is telling me that there was some time ago, with the Eight of Wands and the Knight of Wands, as has been out in the press, Jennifer got a message from Ben. So this is someone from the past coming back in. Six of Cups. You know, when you were very young and you knew someone and you had a connection with someone, this is them back, you know, sort of being more grown, being more mature, being more settled in themselves and more settled in who you are, and looking to reestablish that connection. What I'm being picked up with Ben especially is someone rushing after something, that someone seeing an opportunity and seizing on it. What I'm picking up intuitively is that Ben always wanted for quite a while to get back with Jennifer. Now people are saying that he tried to get back to her in February time. I'm not sure about that. I'm just reading the cards. But what I'm pulling through with this Knight of Swords is that for quite a while, he wanted to get back in touch with her. And he sort of felt at a particular period of time that he had missed the opportunity, is what I'm being told. But the opportunity, he thought that he was past it. He thought that there wasn't going to be a chance, but he saw an opportunity, and this is him running after the opportunity, him running after the motorcycle. So this is him running after the opportunity when he saw it, and that makes sense with the Eight of Wands and the Page of Swords that I got here. We also have the Fool card that's below the deck. So this is an opportunity, you know, now that we're grown and now that we're mature, for us to start again. Let's just throw caution to the wind. Let's just act as let's throw caution to the wind. Let's reload this. Let's reboot this. Both of us are more mature. Both of us have more settled in our energy. Both of us know who we are and what we want out of situations now. So let's try this. And what I'm seeing with this Page of Swords, especially, spirit guides are drawing me to her reading a book. So that only tells me that they've been messaging back and forth for quite a while. And in messaging back and forth for quite a while, they've found out and discovered that they had a lot in common, and this is both of them deciding to take the plunge with the Fool. Let's just take a plunge. Let's just dive into the pool or the waters of our feelings, and let's see how this is going to go. All right, what else are we... This is some grown, mature energy going on here. I'm actually really impressed with it. Temperance, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They were back and forth for quite a while in terms of understanding their emotions. And what Temperance also talks about is healing the past, right? So between them, they're actually healing the past. They're actually taking the point to heal the past, to really go back to what was, understanding what went wrong and how they've moved on and how they've changed within themselves. You know, I'm also being drawn to the sun and the moon. What is really on this card, what's really interesting about both of them as well, is that both of them are Leo sun and both of them are Scorpio moon, so they do have that in common. So this is telling me it's almost as if they are, I'm going to use this word loosely, soulmates in a way, and destined for each other, but at that time it wasn't right, and it just seems as if, or they wasn't right, or the maturity wasn't there, and it's as if they're finally rediscovering that with themselves now. Yep, Nine of Pentacles. She is definitely single. She's definitely single. She has moved on from Alex, most definitely. And we have the Six of Wands underneath. She really feels that this was worth, with the Six of Wands. Six of Wands talks about the public and the way the public view you, the way the public see you. What came up in my last reading regarding Jennifer and this was, she was very conscious of the way the public were going to perceive her in her break with Alex, right? So it's almost in a way getting back with a break with Alex Rodriguez, and in a way getting back with Ben Affleck. Number one, not only is it destined with the Star card and the Temperance, but she's also following her heart here as well. I think when it comes to Alex, and you could view my Alex reading, which Alex and Jado reading, which I've attached above and which is down below, she felt trapped in the situation with Alex. She felt trapped and she never quite, it's almost as if someone doesn't want to believe what they're seeing. Someone's always doubting themselves. I'm picking up gaslighting in this situation. JLo was always questioning him, are you doing this or are you doing that? And he'd pretend to be one way with her. It was almost as if in the relationship with Alex, she couldn't trust what she was seeing. She couldn't trust what she was hearing. She was always doubting herself when it came to him because he was just gaslighting her in terms of how he felt about her. This is someone, Alex was someone for her who did all the right things, said all the right things, but for JLo, there was always an uneasiness about this. There was always, JLo with this card is showing me here, there was always something about the situation with Alex that she couldn't quite trust. However, it was very good business-wise for the both of them. Both of them, when it comes to business, they're good and they're solid, but there's something she couldn't quite trust. Now, I said something about business-wise between her and Alex being good and solid. That is their business. But this card is coming through regarding Alex and some other business that he has, that she, in terms of Alex and his business dealings. Sorry guys, I'm just seeing a newspaper article or like a magazine article regarding Alex and his business dealings, and there was something that JLo wasn't aware of when it comes to Alex and business dealings that Alex had with other people. So comment down below if you guys know about that, and I'll try doing research into it as well. But this is not an Alex Rodriguez reading. This is a Ben Affleck and JLo reading. And what I'm excited about is this Star card that's come through. So notice the Star card and the Silver cord that's going from her heart right up to her higher self. So she is really tuning into her higher self here. She's single, she's tuning into her higher self, and both of them are really talking and reflecting on the past and healing and looking at how they've grown, how they've evolved, how they've matured, and what they want out of their current situation. She is following her heart here. She's following in her intuition. JLo has a very good connection with her spirit guides, is what I'm being drawn to here, with her heart, and she has a very good connection with her higher self. She's very in tune and grounded in the essence of who she is, and understanding that love and getting someone to love her and following her heart is her life purpose here. That's her life purpose. And encouraging others to do the same, and encouraging others to follow their heart as well, is what she is all about. Okay, what else could we pick up from... Oh, I'm also... Right. Thank you, Spirit Guides. I'm also being drawn to another thing. Now, we have the Ten of Cups, which is family and happiness. Ten of Cups is one of the best cards you could get in tarot, right? So that is bliss, that is happiness, with the Six of Wands and her being single. So in terms of going back to Ben Affleck, in terms of public perception, she is very aware. She doesn't mind going back to him, and she doesn't mind following her bliss, because she knows that this is something from a public perspective or a public point of view that would go down well. So it's sort of like she's killing two birds with one stone, so to speak. Okay, so in terms of their current energies, what else could we channel from JLo and Alex's current energies? Okay, so this is not a good card to see. We have a Seven of Swords. So this is talking about, let me make sure that you guys can see this. This is talking about some deception in the works. Okay, yeah. So this Seven of Swords is talking about some sort of deception that's happened or taken place. And it's deception around Alex reconnecting, or some deception around reconnecting with the past, with Ben pursuing Jennifer, and the Six of Cups here. There is a deception energy coming up to the regarding this reconnection. What is this deception energy about, Spirit Guides? What is this deception energy about with the Seven of Swords? What is this deception energy about? Why is this taking place? Okay. Okay, I get it. Okay, guys, do not shoot the messenger. Okay? Do not shoot the messenger. And I am happy to say when I'm wrong. When I did the first reading into JLo and Alex, I have to revisit that reading. Okay, let me just say it. Coming down in JLo's relationship with Alex, she was already looking to move on while she was in the relationship with Alex. JLo was. With her surfboard, this surfboard to me, I'm being told, is like your life purpose. She knew her life purpose wasn't going to be with Alex, and she was already looking at the oceans. She was already looking out into the distance to see what else was there and what else was coming up. So we have that. We have her looking out into the Two of Cups. Guys, Ben is her soulmate. Sorry, Ben is her soulmate, point blank period. And I think with this Seven of Swords and Three of Wands, she was putting out to the world that her and Alex had this amazing relationship, this amazing thing. But I think deep down, what is coming through here is that JLo knew that it wasn't going to work. There was too much deception going on behind JLo's back, because JLo is looking out into the distance. This is behind her back. With JLo, there was too much deception going on behind her back. However, so when JLo realized there was all this deception, however, towards the end, JLo herself was deceptive in terms of putting it out there. She had already checked out. She had already started moving on. moving on with Ben. This Two of Cups, this is a soulmate card. And I said it because this Two of Cups has come up to the Temperance card with the Sun and the Moon. This is soulmate card. This is soulmate energy. She knew, JLo knows her soulmate was out there. Her soulmate is out there. She knew that it wasn't going to be Alex. Towards the end of the relationship, she started having discussions and she started linking with Ben. She knew that, oh God, I'm getting confused between Ben and Alex. Let me say this again. She knew that Alex was not her soulmate while she was in the relationship with Alex. So she had started moving on with Ben Affleck while she was in the relationship with Alex. Okay? I hope that makes sense. Right. Sorry guys, do not shoot the messenger. But that is what happened. So there is a slight cheating. Was she cheating then? Was JLo cheating or what? What does this mean? No. In a way, okay, was she cheating or not? So we have the answer to whether she was cheating or not. We have the 7 of Wands and we have the 9 of Wands that have come through. When I asked, was JLo cheating on Alex with Ben? No, she wasn't cheating. No, she wasn't. With this 7 of Swords, this tells me that what JLo, notice this woman is sitting in a bubble. This bubble, this is someone protecting their energy. This is someone who was hearing a lot of nonsense, a lot of like gossip, innuendos, rumors about Alex that was coming in at her. She was being, with the 9 of Wands, very defensive about it. So this is her standing behind a fence, looking out into the distance. So she had already started separating from Alex, you know, building a fence between them. She had already, and with the one looking into the distance, notice with the same 3 of Wands here, looking into the distance, right? So with that same wanting love, looking into the distance, she had already, while she was with Alex, she had already started looking for the next thing. So what spirit guides are saying is that everyone's looking at JLo and they're saying, oh my gosh, she moved on fast. She can't do without someone. She can't this. It's not a matter of that. While she was in the relationship with Alex, she had already... And this is something that, thank you Spirit guys, this is something that came up in my first reading, linked above. Alex and JLo ended their relationship long before they had announced it. They had stayed together for a period of time until JLo felt she was ready to finally call it quits. In that period of time that they were separated but pretending to be together, I'm being told while JLo was filming, she was in contact with Ben. Okay, that's what this 9 means, because this 9 is not a 10, right? But this 9 shows separation. There's a fence that JLo built up between herself and Alex. The 9 is not a 10. This is showing me that that is why I was picking up, while she was in the relationship with Alex, she had already started reaching out to Ben and she was ready in chats with Ben. I'm being told that there was some, and this is her rising up to her higher purpose. She feels that her higher purpose is with Ben. I'm being told intuitively that Ben came out and spoke in a magazine article about JLo. And I think it was, he spoke about JLo, saying that JLo, like, I don't know how cruelly JLo was treated. New ace, how cruelly JLo was treated in the past. There was some article while JLo was together with Alex. Ben made some public statement about JLo, and this public statement caught JLo's interest. It piqued her interest, is what I'm being told. And she started, with this loving woman card that's come through, she started looking at Ben in a different way. It piqued her interest. So she has wanted, with this, the Fool and the Ace of Wands talks about new beginnings, right? And a loving woman. So they've wanted to start this new beginning for quite a while. Spirit guides are telling me, taking steps. Spirit guides are telling me that it was Ben coming out. It was as if Ben came out and was publicly stating that he wasn't over JLo yet. It was as if Ben came out with a coded message to her while she was still in a relationship with Alex Rodriguez. It's something Ben had said in the press while JLo was still together with Alex that sparked JLo's interest back to him. And then she, coming down to the end of her relationship with Alex, she began taking steps towards Ben. So when people are saying, oh, this is just new, this just turned up, this just happened, in terms of JLo going to with Ben, no, it didn't just happen. It started while JLo was in a relationship with Alex Rodriguez. Oh yeah. Yep, joyous fun. She's rediscovered herself. This is an energy card. This is her in terms of what she's experiencing with Ben Affleck right now. It's just, they've just found themselves again in each other. And I'm also being drawn to, like, yeah, oh my God, thank you so much, Spirit Guides. Look at the synchronicity. I'm going to end with this card, guys. Look at the synchronicity between the cards. These two wearing polka dots, these two in pink. There's a lot of synchronicity going on here, and threes. There's a lot of synchronicity going on here. And this is surprising considering that both of them are Leos and both of them are Scorpio moons. You know, I am just seeing, this is JLo following. They are, I don't know, I can't say any more on this, guys. And below the deck, kindred partnerships. Guys, I can't say anymore. They are really into each other. They've grown, they've evolved, they've found their way back. This is one of those situations where, yep, JLo was still in a relationship with, because we have the Seven of Swords here. She was still in a relationship with Alex. However, that relationship was already coming to an end. What this is saying is that you would expect people, and I think people have started doing this already. People have started saying, well, hang on a minute, this timeline ain't working out or whatever. But I feel from a public perspective, the public are going to give JLo a pass on this one. People in the public, I mean, Portia doesn't really get a pass, right? But people are going to be giving JLo a pass because people know what Alex was like. Right, so they're going to give her a pass. Yep, this friends and colleagues wanted to pop out. I wouldn't be surprised if why is that friends and colleagues? I think a lot of people, I think what this more or less says is that a lot of people are supporting this relationship, are supporting this JLo and Alex reunion, and this JLo and Ben reunion. Sorry, I'm getting confused between them. And I wouldn't be surprised what this is saying as well. Yeah, planning and action. That's what I was saying, guys. I'm going to finish on that. This is what I was saying before. It may have seemed like Ben and JLo just got together, but it wasn't like that. They had been planning this for a while. They had been in communication for quite a while. It was overlapping with the relationship with Alex, but JLo had already checked out of that relationship with Alex anyway. He was just doing too much nonsense. So him lazing with Ben wasn't that new. They'd been planning and taking action on this. And I wouldn't be surprised if friends and colleagues, and when I say friends and colleagues, is that people around JLo and Ben support this, number one. But number two, I think in terms of the media and the press, they are going to be more geared towards JLo and Ben's side, which is why I think you haven't heard. Yeah, oh my God, this is just the most positive reading. Happy success has come through as well. Now, it's interesting, I did a reading on Portia, Simon, and that whole situation just before doing this one. And if you compare those readings, they are two totally different readings. With this reading, you're seeing a lot of fun cards, a loving woman, you're seeing aces and 2 of cups and 10 of cups and temperance, and you're just seeing a lot of love everywhere, and 8 of wands, love energy. And it's interesting with Portia's reading, you just weren't seeing any of that whatsoever. You were just seeing pentacles, 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 money, money, money. That's all you were seeing in that reading. So it's really interesting comparing the two and picking up on these two energies. Look at it. Happiness, peace, vast universe, great achievements, family. I mean, there is just positive cards for these guys. It's crazy. I wish them nothing but the best of luck. They seem to be kindred spirits. This time it seems as if it's going to work. So fingers crossed, guys. Let's hope. Okay, guys, I hope you like this reading. Do comment down below. Do subscribe. I look forward to your feedback. Thanks for tuning in to the end. Bye for now.